I grew up in a Christian household. I had the average Sunday school upbringing. I had always heard about Jesus and God during those times, but I never fully understood it. It never resonated with me on a spiritual level. This attitude continued in the beginning of youth group. For me, youth group was very repetitive. The answer was always Jesus, and to be honest, after many years of going to church, it can get very boring. I was so restless in youth group. In my daily life, God rarely crossed my mind. However, this started to change when I went to Rice Rally in 2018. I felt God's presence in the hall and His words sank into my heart. I felt so guilty about how I rejected God and my Lord, but He still chose to love me. The overwhelming emotions wrapped my heart and I decided to follow God that night. From this night onwards, I started to see how God was changing my life. It wasn't an in-the-moment feeling, but by God's grace, my life was transformed, and still is. In youth group, I started to pay more attention and took it seriously. I listened to God's word and applied them to my life. This allowed me to deepen my relationship with God and I felt more connected with Him. I went from going to church because my family went to genuinely wanting to go because it brings me closer to Him. In my struggles and trials, I went to God and asked Him for help instead of trying to figure out myself. This newfound way of life has created many joys, hope and confidence in my Lord. However, there are many hardships in the Christian journey. I get distracted by worldly temptations and don't put God first. But even during those times, God still works in me and He always brings me back to Him. He uses these trials to strengthen my faith and connect with Him. This is the great power and love of God. God sent His only Son, Jesus, to die on the cross for me. Jesus took away my sins, so when God looks at me now, He sees Jesus, perfect and clean. As a result, I'm able to have a relationship with God, which is the greatest treasure of all. There are definitely many times where I've taken this gift for granted, but I know God's love surpasses all sin and doubt. A Bible verse that I keep very close to my heart is 1 John 4:19. We love because He loved us first. This shows me that I can live my life in love because God has given me more love than I can ever imagine.